Hello, welcome. My name is Mahesh Kalyanpur, and today we are in conversation with none other than Mayur Kalbag. So, the topic of discussion for today is team building. You know why team building is very, very important? Do you remember Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Chris Gill? What is similar in these people? All these three people are specialists in batting, right? Similarly, there are three more people. I'll tell you the names. Swapnil Asnodkar. Do you know the name? Pathan. You might be knowing Irfan Pathan and his brother, right? And then there was a captain of retired Australian team. He was a leg spinner. His name was Shane Warne. Now, why am I telling you all these things? 2008, the first edition of IPL, Bangalore had the top T20 batsmen in their team, and Rajasthan Royals had nobody, in the top 10, but still they went on to win the first edition of IPL. Now, why I am telling you this is, this one example is enough for everyone to understand that it is very, very important to have a great team. So matches are won by great teams. Likewise, at work, at home, at place, wherever you go, if you have a great team, there is no doubt that you will win in your life. So today, dear friends, we have with us Mayur Kalbag, and for the next 15-20 minutes, we are going to exclusively talk about team building. Welcome, Mayur. Welcome to today's session.
Thank you very much, and a warm welcome to all the viewers.
Yes, and my question today to you is, first question is, how can a person build great team that wins all the time when they are expected the most to win?
Okay. Well, you started the interaction with a very fully loaded question, and I thank you for that. Let me respond by saying that the first and foremost aspect that I've learned being a professional is to understand that winning and losing is part of the game. I think we all know that. It is about, like you very rightly said, at the time that we really need to win, how can we make that possible? When we really have to win. So there are three P's that have, that have always influenced me. And I've seen these P's as in not the P's. I'm talking about the P's in terms of the alphabet P's. These are the three characteristics or values which I would see in an MS Dhoni, or I would see in a Virat Kohli. I would see it in Sachin Tendulkar. And I say that with a lot of responsibility because I've seen it being practiced and implemented, these three qualities. The first, and this is in the context of your question, is how can you really, help the team win when it is really required?
Yes.
Probably when a team is not going through a tough time, not a good time, how can it be, how can it bounce back? The first P is passion. I've always seen this element of passion in a Virat Kohli, and I'm giving these examples because these are live examples. An MS Dhoni, what is passion? When I say we need to be passionate to be able to come out of a difficult situation and win, passion is a very strong and a very intense desire to achieve something. That strength and the intensity should be extremely high. That is passion. When I want to do something, but I really want to do something, that difference is where a person is, okay, he's interested. And then when he really wants to do something, you say he's passionate. So I would say not only in cricket, even in any aspect of life, if somebody wants to score the highest in a class in college, or a person wants to rise to become a manager, the passion is the very important ingredient, I think. The first P is passion. The second, I would say, is perseverance. Perseverance very simply means not giving up. You know why I say that, Mahesh and all the viewers? Is because a lot of times, despite being passionate, there will be some small pitfalls, There will be one over in the match where suddenly, your team, the bowler is hit for a lot of fours and the morale can be down. Yes. At that point, not giving up and then trying to get the best bowler back for the next over is where I think the perseverance helps a lot. Perseverance is the attitude of trying till you succeed. And I say this again with honesty because we all face, sometimes those difficult hurdles. But even if the small hurdles come in the way, the persistence to not give up will eventually help you to accomplish your main goal. So some overs in cricket, you may lose some, you may give away a lot of runs, but eventually you want to win the match. So passion is great, but along with it, we need perseverance. And I want to also talk about something which is a little more holistic, more broader, and that is progression. You know what is progression? Is going beyond the match. So if it is a World Cup, winning one match is not enough. You need to keep winning, because if you don't have the attitude to progress further and further, we become complacent. We become happy with that match. जीत गए, अरे आगे और एक match है. हाँ वो ठीक है यार, वो भी जीत जाएंगे. But if you don't put in your passion and perseverance for the next match, you might lose it. And I think that to climb to the first floor, there are many steps. You may slip on a few steps, but you still need to keep going up and up and up. Like I saw your post, the leader and the ladder. I liked it a lot, Mahesh. At the end of the day, the ladder is very important. अगर कोई खुश हो जाएगा, I climbed the first step of the ladder, कि हो गया. No, there are many more. So the progression means going forward and going forward. Maybe you'll fall sometimes, you'll slip, and yet you go forward. So passion, perseverance, progression are the three, I think, important elements that can help a cricket player or a team player anywhere to, I think, finally achieve his goal, is what I want to say to you. There could be many others, but these are three P's that I want to sort of share with my viewers and with you, Mahesh.
Yes, thank you so much. This was a valuable answer, and I believe these three P's, if each and every team member inculcates in their persona, then I believe then you can never defeat any match, may it be on the
Yes.
ground, off the ground, in life, or in corporate, anywhere, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we have a pitch in every form of life.
Yes, because life
know,
is a game.
Life is a game, exactly. So well put. Life is a game, and there's a pitch. In fact, हम गाना भी गाते हैं तो वहाँ पे भी pitch की जरूरत पड़ती है.
Definitely.
Even when we are singing, we need a pitch.
Yes.
कोई सा रे ग म प द नी सा, मतलब pitch गया. So even in singing, we need to find the right pitch. And passion, perseverance, and progression even makes its importance felt even in art, in business. Even for small businesses, especially Mahesh, I'm telling you, for small businesses, could be in the biggest of towns, but small businesses need to be passionate, to persevere, and to have the attitude to keep going on and on. Progression.
Yes, superb stuff, superb stuff. So thank you so much for this answer. My next question, straightforward to you, is creativity and team building. How do you correlate these two different concepts?
Well, interesting. And why is it interesting is because I think in today's world, we must not use yesterday's methods to be in tomorrow's business. I say it once again, and I want my viewers to listen to this because I was very influenced by this. In today's world, we must not use yesterday's methods to be in tomorrow's business. What it means to me is, as a learning, which comes across in the question, as an answer to your question, is we need to be creative. We cannot afford to use the same ways, methods, techniques. There's nothing wrong with it. But with today's times, which are changing, we need to adapt. So whether it's cricket, or it's a professional, or it's a professional person, or it's a businessman, the attitude to keep coming up with new ideas is very important. I'll give you a couple of examples. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, was creative enough to come up with an idea of not just using telephone and mobile, but creating a software, an application by which through the internet, people could connect. Now, I don't say that he's the only person. Sabir Bhatia, if anyone doesn't know, he's the founder of Hotmail. And I'm talking about the millennials who probably weren't aware, but this is when we were very young. Hotmail came into existence. Mahesh and the viewers, Hotmail is an example of creativity. He created a mechanism by which we could send emails. So there are so many examples.
Yes.
I think that if you want to work as a team, if you want to succeed as a team, inculcating the attitude to come out of the box and think differently will help to make the team more vibrant. See, when there's a cricket game happening, okay, for me a googly is a very good example of creativity. The ball that turns the other way. तो ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो दिखाते हैं कुछ और करते हैं कुछ. And I say this in a good way, not in a sarcastic way. You know, you can also make it a little negative, ना? कि यार ये कुछ दिखाता है, कुछ करता है. मेरे लिए creativity is surprising somebody. For example, for a business, he has a product, but unlike other products which are similar, his product, he makes it different by the way he packages it. You know, मैंने और एक उदाहरण देखा है. When I received a wedding invitation, Mahesh, our family received a wedding invitation. You'll be surprised the way the invitation card was made. It was unbelievable. It was almost three-dimensional. It had some puppet-like things inside it. And we were like, you know, isko to rakhna kidhar nahi hai. Let's keep it at a safe place, because the greeting card itself was amazing. And it stood out. So whether it's a greeting card or it's Mark Zuckerberg, I think when you want to really achieve something, first is you need people to work together. But just working in the same way doesn't help here. You got to have your team members come up with the googlies. So I would say to all leaders, Mahesh, is encourage creative thinking. Encourage, when I say creative thinking, encourage your team members, give them the freedom, but along with freedom, give them the fearlessness to think out of the box. Like one of my friends said, out of the box, se jada abhi kya hai? Above the box. Go above, go higher. And I think that's my response to your question. Creativity is important, but in team building, maybe it's more important.
Yes, thank you so much. Recently, I actually read a quote somewhere in the internet on creativity and team building. So it was like this: a flock of sheep led by a lion can defeat a group of lions which is led by a sheep.
True.
So even leadership is very, very important in team building. So my next question to you is, what are your top 3 tips on building
Mahesh,
high
I need
performance?
to get your, Mahesh, I need you to get your audio a little bit.
Okay, thank you so much for that. My next question to you is, what are your 3 tips for building high performance teams?
All right. Short question. I'll try to give you a concise response. What do you see, Mahesh?
I can see a wand.
Okay, it's a, I like that. It's a magic wand. Well, I wish we all had a magic wand. I wish we were all Harry Potter, but no, this is a pipe.
Okay.
All right. When you look at the pipe, it looks fine. It's all good. But sometimes if you don't look at it properly, you don't realize it's hollow.
Yeah.
All right. It's hollow. Now, why I bring this as a prop, but as an example. The first tip I would say with respect to your question is a leader should be able to identify clearly the strengths and the weaknesses, but I call it the areas of improvement of each and every member of his team. Sometimes if we don't look and analyze and understand our team member, then what looks is a very strong pipe, without realizing maybe there are many things that probably need to be filled in. Sometimes, Mahesh and viewers, sometimes a leader thinks that his team member is excellent at something because he has not really understood. And then when the result comes out, he gets very upset. He says, "Arey, you don't know how to do this. Email aise bhejte hain. You don't know how to negotiate." But have you yourself found out? Have you understood that he's strong in something else? Maybe he's excellent in creative thinking, but probably one of the areas he needs to improve, where he's, when I say hollow, not in a negative way, something needs to be filled in. What? Presentation skills, negotiating skills. So the first tip I would say, which can help a team to become better, is get to know your team members. And there I want to bring in the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. But in that, the S and W are very important. The first tip, therefore, is get to know the strengths and the weaknesses or improvement areas of your team members. Automatically, the team will become stronger. And the stronger the team, the better will be the performance. It's as simple as that. If a team member's weaknesses improve, naturally the productivity will be better. No, as simple as that. The first tip. Second, always criticize. But you know how? Criticize to improve, not to insult. Now you may say, Bapre, criticize karna hai. Very much. Because how will you make a person improve if you don't tell him? So one is, if you understand, okay, Mayur Kalbag is my team member, there are 3-4 areas he needs to improve. Lekin kaise batao yaar? I am a very good team leader. If I don't want to tell him anything that will make him feel bad. Leaders need to be not nice and good and no. They need to be very firm, polite and honest. And I put this in the perspective, in terms of the second tip, is if you find an area of improvement, indicate it. If suppose failure hua hai, if a team member has failed 2-3 times, be firm enough and say, I'm not, I think we need to work on this. In this, I want to say, criticize karo, but your intention should be not to hurt somebody. Sometimes bosses shout, they scold, they raise their voice in front of other colleagues. They're shouting at somebody, but there are other people. Don't do that. If you want to criticize, intent should be what? Ki isse uska aur bhala hona chahiye. So when you try and help somebody to be better, in the process, if you're showing some weaknesses, telling the person that this is not the way to do, even if the person feels a little bad, it's okay. But eventually he will understand, or she will understand, that it's for my own good. So the second tip is criticize, but to improve somebody, not to insult somebody. And the third I would say is, very, very common, but a very important word, is motivate. Always motivate your team, because failure is part of success. I would say failure is part of success. Failure mein motivation kam ho jata hai. Mahesh, people do feel demoralized. That also makes the performance come down. They don't feel like working. If a leader is not able to motivate his team, आप कितना भी उसका strengths देखो, improve करो, but at times you will find that the person is feeling down. Sometimes it's because of even home related aspects. Something happens in the personal life, it affects. A leader should be able to spot that one of my team members, probably he needs a pep talk, he needs motivation. So if these 3 things can be worked on, I think that can help a lot. Motivate करना बहुत जरूरी है. Make motivating activity for a leader, make that activity part of your own skill set. And it starts, where, Mahesh? Self-motivation. If a leader is not motivated himself or herself, how can he motivate the team? कभी कभी ऐसे देखा है यार, कि the leader comes to the office, तो देख के पता चलता है, अरे अभी बात मत कर, मूड खराब है. Don't go and talk to him. Firstly, he should never show, even if he's feeling demotivated, never show it. Second, good morning, sir. The subordinate or the junior says to the boss, good morning, sir. You know what the boss says? What's up, TK? Get me the reports first. That's how he responds. He's so engrossed and stressed out and demotivated about whatever, that when his subordinate motivatedly says good morning, the boss tells him to get a report. ऐसा नहीं चलता है. Today, you need to energize the team. You need to make the team feel this, they say a team should have a sense of ownership. And a sense of ownership and belongingness comes only when they're motivated. And I believe that a leader should take the first initiative to motivate. That's my response in terms of the 3 things, the 3 tips.
Thank you so much for this interactive session. Dear friends, I would want to tell you that the third question, the answer to the third question, is something which we all need to really, really focus on, because humanity is going through a very, very tough time. And with this, the only thing that can pull us out of this crisis is teamwork. Great teamwork has already proven to be really, really helpful in so many countries which have actually, they have come out of this tough situation. So team building is the only great teamwork is the only way we can come out of this crisis also. So thank you so much for this. Before we
I
move
just want
on,
to, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You wanted to say something, Mahesh,
yeah,
please.
before we move on, I can see something in your hand. I want to
Yes.
see that.
Well, Mahesh, I know we are coming towards the end of the session. I wanted to conclude with a beginning. And, because you started with cricket, so allow me to also, from my side, conclude with a beginning by showing you cricket. Now, I hope my viewers can see it. I think if Mahesh, you can see it, then
I can
I'm
see it.
sure that it's okay.
Yes, yes.
What I've done is I've tried to make cricket itself an acronym or a short form. I want Mahesh, you to please, if you don't mind, help me to read the first one. The C of the cricket. What does it stand for, Mahesh?
Conviction.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say it in one line because everybody's aware of it, but I want to re-emphasize. I believe for a team to be very successful and strong, the first thing is belief. The leader and the team should believe in what? In the goals. तो goal होना जरूरी है, लेकिन the belief and the conviction in the goal is very important. And conviction is being convinced about something. Am I convinced about doing something? So please strengthen your conviction.
Risk.
Second is respect. देखो टीम को अगर साथ में जाना है, I've written this purposefully. The we is more important than the I, but usme respect is very important here. To viewers and leaders, it's not about respecting colleagues, seniors, it's about respecting juniors. It has to go always, when I say always, all the ways, up, down, sideways. So respect each and every person. You may not like the person for some things, but respect the positives. Because hota hai, kabhi kabhi, we may not get along. That's okay, it's human behavior. But don't let that come in the way of your togetherness. Respect the strengths.
I is
This is
initiative.
initiative. Sometimes we have an idea, but वो idea हम अंदर लेके बैठते हैं. Converting an idea into action is initiative. Initiative is what, viewers, is not just waiting for something to happen, making it happen. Initiative is सोचते नहीं बैठने का, करो.
In the back
Initiative,
of mind, just do it.
yeah, just do it. Absolutely. Our Nike mom, I call it. Just do it. Don't wait. Do it. When you have an idea, a suggestion, something you want to do, don't let laziness, mental lethargy, demotivation stop you. Try it out. Fail hoga to bhi kya seekhenge? The ladder has to be climbed. Thoda slip ho jayega, but take the initiative and make it happen. The next one.
Communication.
Absolutely. Mahesh, thanks for that. Communication. What is happening between Mahesh and me, and what is happening between us and the viewers, you guys, is communication. Please make your communication as clear, as concise, as effective as possible. Ek yaad rakhiye, friends, in a team, if the communication is not effective, if some people do not understand what the leader is saying, the result of that could be very negative. ऐसे होता है कि boss बोलता है ये चाहिए, he delegates. But when the boss leaves, the colleague says, यार कुछ समझा ही नहीं क्या बोला, इतना fast बोला पता ही नहीं चला, and he gets stressed out. So make your verbal communication, your written communication, your presentation, make it effective. Of course, we'll have more sessions on the details of it, but for now, communication is also a very important part of team building. Next one.
Know how.
Know how. You know what, Mahesh, I'm not put knowledge. Knowledge is great, but know how is knowing how to do something, right? In cricket, you know, but you also know how to play. How to play, which ball to hit, a cover drive, etc., etc. So in your work, if a team leader helps the team members to know how to do things, guides them, mentors them, helps them, I think that's very important. Know-how is knowledge and the way to apply the knowledge. That's know-how.
Empathy.
What is empathy? Not sympathy. Sympathy, आपको बुरा लगता है, oh, no. Empathy is putting yourself in the other person's shoe. Viewers and Mahesh, very important. When there's a failure, when a person doesn't perform, don't suddenly shout, don't suddenly make a judgment about that. First, understand why that person may have performed in a way that probably is below your expectation. Understand what could have happened. Empathy helps you to understand the situation, which therefore helps you to resolve the situation. So empathy is understanding somebody. Not sympathizing. It's understanding and then taking a corrective action. I remember a person who keeps, I remember this and I'll be very concise. He used to keep coming late to office. My boss, I remember, rather than shouting and making judgments, he actually sat with him and understood what was the problem, only to realize there was a personal issue. And that's why he used to come late. Understanding is very important. It comes with empathy. And the final one,
One is transform.
transform. At the end of the day, this session is also about how we can influence people to change. When there's a failure, sometimes we need to also transform. When there's a situation like a COVID-19, we need to transform. What example can I give you, Mahesh, in terms of today's times? Online. Today, schools, for example, have transformed themselves into online. I know there could be some teething issues, but conceptually, the attitude to adapt, to transform. Don't be only a caterpillar, because there is something where you can become a butterfly, but you need to transform. Sometimes painful. The metamorphosis can be painful a little bit, but the eventual transformation to a butterfly with the wings, crawling caterpillar to a flying butterfly, requires transformation. For teams as well, I think businesses, teams, we need to transform. Openness hona chahiye. That's
Thank
what
you
I want to say.
so much. Thank you.
Wanted to present the cricket to you.
This entire session, I believe, was like a 2020 match. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. And I hope that this discussion was valuable to all our viewers. Thank you so much for being with us. See you next
Thank
time.
you so
Till then,
much.
stay positive, stay safe, and stay motivated.